Hi there, this is Kaushik Ranchod. Welcome to our Immigration Weekly show. Today, it's waiver talk. We're going to be talking about case studies. Yes, you heard it right. Case studies about I-601As. So you want to make sure you stay tuned. And of course, boom, just crush that like button and post your comments below. Let's dive into it. But I just want to express my gratitude to all of you just watching. We've got over 2,000 now subscribers, and it's because of you. So I just want to thank you before we get started. Now let's get started. Okay, so we're talking about the I-601A waiver. Why are we talking about it? Like, hello, why do we care? I mean, like, dude, let's get real here. That's maybe what you're thinking. I'm not a mind reader, but hey, I'm just guessing. Okay, enough of the legal jargon. Why do you need an I-601A waiver? I-601A waiver helps you if you've entered without a visa. So you came in and you, what legally is called, entered without inspection. Therefore, that means you cannot just apply for a green card in the United States. This is a more complex and involved process. But the great thing is if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident or have a U.S. citizen parent or lawful permanent resident parent, then yes, jump for joy, you can file for an I-601A waiver and eventually obtain a green card. That's awesome because normally you wouldn't be able to do that in most situations, but this is an exception to the ground of inadmissibility of the 3 or 10-year bar. Now, you qualify if you have a qualifying relative. Well, you also have to have extreme hardship. That's the legal standard, extreme hardship. So it's not like you just fill out the form, send it in, and it gets approved. No, it's much more involved than that. You need to demonstrate extreme hardship. If you don't demonstrate that, then the case will not get approved. Who do you demonstrate extreme hardship? You have to demonstrate extreme hardship to the U.S. citizen parent, lawful permanent resident parent, U.S. citizen child, lawful permanent resident child. Yes, you heard that right. So that's how you have to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of times people will think, well, what about all of my personal hardships as the applicant? And USCIS does not take into the account. I know that is not cool. I know that sucks, but that's what it is, and it is what it is. In many situations, there is actually extreme hardship if you communicate it appropriately, if you articulate it appropriately. One of the ways that we like to do that is through a detailed legal brief. Let's talk about what that process is. First, you have to file an I-130 petition demonstrating the relationship, demonstrating you have a real relationship. Then after that I-130 is approved, then it goes to the National Visa Center. The fee bills have to be paid. So that's step 2. Then you go to step 3. You have to file that extreme hardship waiver. That's the most challenging part of this case. Now, pre-Obama, before this law was passed, you had to actually go outside the United States to file that waiver, not in this I-601A situation. You file it within the United States. After that's approved, then you go to the National Visa Center process, and that is then another multi-step process where you have the affidavit of support. You have to complete the DS-260, and we help all of our clients with that so you are guided to make sure you know what you're doing. And then your case will be forwarded to the embassy. We prepare our clients for the embassy interview. Then after that, the case is forwarded to the U.S. Embassy. You'll be scheduled for an interview. We will make sure if you retain us, you're prepared for that interview. You'll have to get a medical as well. So that's a whole nother step. Right now, this process is taking anywhere from 2.5, if it goes very fast, to 5+ years. We're hoping to see things speed up because the Biden administration did announce that they're going to try to speed things up. They're going to try to get rid of those backlogs. Oh yeah, but we haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting to see it. Of course, that just came out. So we're hoping these processing times are going to come down. They've acknowledged that they've gone crazy. So we don't want that. Long processing times. It's too long for you to be separated from your family. And in our firm, our purpose is unification. We want you unified with your family as fast as possible. Let's talk about the case studies you've been waiting for. How did we get our cases approved? Let's talk about the first case. In this case, the client entered without a visa when they were 18. Subsequently, he got married. They have a 2-year-old son. When we filed, then they also had a stepson. So you'll see you have 3 qualifying relatives. Well, you actually have 1 qualifying relative. The kids don't count. However, we always like to incorporate the children into the hardships. Now, in this situation, the client also suffers from rheumatoid arthritis. This requires very expensive medication and treatment, and we were able to argue that if the US citizen had to move to the home country, that kind of treatment and care would not be available, and that she would not have access also to that necessary medication abroad. We also argued family ties because his mother-in-law also suffers from rheumatoid arthritis as well. Not only did we do that, but we hit him with another boom, where we talked about the stepson, because again, as if you remember, the stepson, they were taking care of the stepson, and the father of the stepson said they would not allow his child to go abroad. That was another argument that we added, another punch, if you will. And then an argument that we always like to add, if possible, is financial hardship. In this situation, we argued financial hardship as well, because the applicant who was working would not be able to take care of 2 households if he had to go to his home country. But there is more. We also argued that the client's US citizen wife would suffer from anxiety and depression. So that's mental health hardship. So you can see we tackled this from a variety of angles. All of those arguments are necessary. All of those need to be fleshed out, which is what we did, which we argued in our legal brief to get the case approved. All right, well, I hope this video served you. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video to learn more so that you can better yourself. And by bettering yourself, you're bettering our country. Thank you. Bye for now.